Hey guys, tonight we're slipping quietly into the warm breath of ancient Egypt, a place where the air tastes of dust and honey and the sunrise glows like molten gold over the Nile. You're standing barefoot on cool limestone tiles, your linen tunic clinging just slightly from the morning humidity. The city is already murmuring awake, sandals scuffing, donkeys braying, water jars clinking like a soft percussion orchestra. And somewhere beyond the palace gardens, a rooster crows with all the misplaced confidence of someone who's never met a crocodile. You probably won't survive this heat, honestly, but that's fine, because we're not here to sweat. We're here to watch a pharaoh do something no ruler had ever done before: organize chaos itself into a list. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And I'd love to know, where are you listening from tonight, and what time is it there? Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together.
The first thing you notice is the rhythm. Everything in this palace moves to a quiet, deliberate beat. Sandals against the marble, servants whispering, the rustle of papyrus like soft applause. You're part of the scribal staff, tucked into a corner of the royal court where inkpots are as sacred as amulets. The pharaoh rises not just as a man, but as a symbol, the living god who must maintain Ma'at, the divine order. And maintaining order, as you'll soon discover, means paperwork, lots of paperwork.
The sun's barely up, but the royal chamber is already flooded with gold light. The pharaoh sits by an open window, staring out at the Nile. He hums quietly, not a song, more like a mental checklist. You've seen this before, the way his eyes move left to right, like he's reading invisible lines in the air. He doesn't speak yet, but his lips twitch, silently counting things only he understands. There's a rumor among the servants that the pharaoh invented a ritual called the List of Dawn. Some say he started it after a dream. Others think it was his way to challenge the gods. After all, when you rule millions, what's scarier than forgetting something? Historians still argue whether these so-called dawn lists were religious or practical. Maybe they were both. Maybe they were just his way of saying, I'm in control, even when the world isn't. A servant brings in a shallow bowl of thick, dark syrup made from crushed dates, Egypt's version of caffeine. The pharaoh dips a finger in, tastes it, and grimaces. Too sweet, he mutters. You make a note of it, because yes, even kings have flavor preferences. And yes, that's probably going on the list.
You watch as he picks up a reed pen and unrolls a small piece of papyrus. He starts writing with a calm, almost meditative focus. You can't see the words yet, but you recognize the rhythm. One line, pause, short line, long one. This isn't poetry. It's something else. A method, a sequence. He finally waves you over. Write this down, he says, voice low. Feed the sacred cats before sunrise. Inspect the granaries by noon. Consult the astronomer before the evening winds. His tone is soft but final, as though the cosmos itself might adjust to match his handwriting. And as your pen scratches down his commands, you realize you're watching the first to-do list in recorded history come to life, a pharaoh's humble attempt to make eternity run on time.
Outside, life moves in parallel. Farmers sharpen sickles for the barley harvest, while priests prepare incense for the temple of Ra. The whole city hums like a beehive, and somehow every drone seems to know its role. Maybe they all have lists too, handed down from palace scribes like yourself. Maybe order, once written, spreads like perfume. Still, there's a humor to it all. You can't help but imagine the mighty pharaoh worrying over something small, like whether the royal sandals were polished or if someone fed his favorite goose. You picture him squinting at the horizon, mentally checking boxes. Sunrise, achieved. Nile, still flowing. Subject, mostly loyal.
Historians say the pharaoh's lists might have inspired the later temple schedules, precise tables dictating which gods got incense on which day. But one fringe scholar insists it began as therapy, an ancient coping mechanism for divine anxiety. The idea that even a god-king could get overwhelmed by his calendar feels strangely relatable. The pharaoh finishes writing, sets down his pen, and exhales. His eyes are softer now, almost human. "A day written is a day remembered," he murmurs. You don't fully grasp it then, but later you'll realize, in a land obsessed with immortality, the to-do list was another kind of afterlife, a way to make each fleeting day eternal. He gestures for you to roll up the papyrus and seal it with wax. You tuck it carefully into a clay jar labeled with today's date, or rather with the symbols that mean season of the flood, month 3. Thousands of such jars fill the royal archives. Each one holds the same fragile dream, that the empire can be ordered by ink.
As the morning grows hotter, the pharaoh retires to the courtyard. He watches the gardeners prune lotus flowers, their hands steady and rhythmic. You realize they too have invisible lists, generations of knowledge, passed hand to hand, memorized rather than written. Everyone here is balancing chaos with order. You follow him down a shaded corridor, the air smelling faintly of resin and stone. He's silent now, lost in thought. Perhaps he's already drafting tomorrow's list in his mind. Perhaps he's wondering if even gods can ever be done. Outside, a scribe sneezes from too much papyrus dust, and you think, maybe the first person in history to invent the to-do list also invented the first sneeze break. Civilization had to start somewhere.